All right, everybody. Good morning. We got to get rolling here. I gotta remind us that this meeting is being recorded. And welcome to the November Trail Mix meeting. Yeah. Samantha's going to take attendance, so if you would just go around and tell us who you are and make sure we have you added onto there. Okay, my name is Brendan, Trail Mix Chair.
Samantha Derbyshire, Vice Chair.
I'm Kathy Grossman, the Secretary.
Mark Al, large voting member.
Jim Rowland, large. Adelaide and Ronnie Rupp.
Dave Wilson at large.
Marty Gower, Vice Chair.
Smiley, GCAP Trails.
Here's Peterson, C-Rep.
Joe Stern, I'm standing in for Faith Vick. He's a road activities rep.
What was it, Joe Stern?
Joe Stern. That's your trip, City Moab rep. Todd Solly, that's search and rescue.
Anna Sprout, Trail Ambassador, and
Patty Logwood, DCAT Director.
Chuck Hadler, Grand County Commissioner. And Pete? Tell us who you are, Pete.
What?
Tell us who you are. Introduce yourself.
Pete, concerned citizen and marvelous volunteer.
He is marvelous. That's 100%. Great. Thank you all for being here. And then online, David?
David Glover, biking rep.
And I think that's it. There's like a Makeda's note taker and a read AI meeting notes.
It's probably because they're just set to attend meetings
Yeah.
for them.
So it's recording us. And Samantha has made something delicious for us. Thank you, Samantha, as always. You're incredible. Okay, I sent out the minutes, the last meeting's minutes that Kathy did an amazing job. Can I have somebody, I'll take a motion to approve last meeting's minutes.
Make that motion.
Okay, Tim's gonna make that motion to approve. Do I have a second, please?
Second.
Maddie, second. Okay. Everybody that approves last meeting notes? Anyone that doesn't or abstaining?
All right,
We're good? Okay, good. Great. Awesome. All right, citizens to be heard. What do you have, citizens?
Just make the Wednesday, not Tuesday.
Oh. So anytime we have a crazy thing happen on Tuesday where we have to move it, you'll be there. Okay.
I just got done with the dog.
Okay. Well, that is marvelous. Just like you're marvelous. Anyone else? Any other citizens need to be heard? I didn't receive anything online. Did you guys receive anything? Kathy, Samantha? Okay. Great. All right. For action items, we need to submit it before you, but we, as you all know, we have an additional opening. We have an opening for the at-large members, and Tim, we've asked Tim, and he's maybe said that would be a good idea, and others have that. We need to give a full week apparently when we do it and put it in the notes if it's an action item. But would like to recommend Tim to be filling that spot, and Tim's going to send a little ditty about him because we're supposed to do that officially and send it out about it. But Tim, anything you want to say about being a at-large member for Trail Mix?
Besides what I started right up this morning, I think this is a great organization. I'd like to be more involved. I was at the first two Trail Mix meetings ever.
Oh, you were?
You were there?
Well, they weren't the first ever. First ever back in like 2002, I think.
Yeah, I guess maybe, I don't know.
But I do remember those meetings. Yeah, that was like in 2008 or so.
Yeah, this thing happened, I bring this thing going.
Right.
All this went on, so, yeah. I guess I was interested in them and, yes, like to be part of the organization.
Awesome. Thank you. And just so you're all aware, Tim has, I think, one of the best, if not the best attendance out of all of us. So he's been to all of our meetings within this last year or so. So anyway, that will be next. That'll be December's action item, one of the action items for sure. Okay, let's go right into discussion items. And Anna is here and she's going to have to be leaving. So I added her, moved her to the top of this discussion items, and we have something pretty exciting. Who can make it, by raise of hands, just so we have an idea, because we'd love to steal some of your help. Who can make it to the volunteer appreciation dinner and awards party happening this Friday at 6? Who's planning on being there? David's raising his hand. Good job. Good job, David. Even virtually. Okay, that gives us a pretty good idea. All right, you're up, Anna.
All right. So Dewey's at 6 o'clock is when the volunteer appreciation celebration starts. It goes until 9 p.m. From 5 to 6, I will need 2 volunteers to help us set up our check-in and our awards table. So if anybody has time from 5 to 6 on Pete, perfect. And then if you know of anyone who could volunteer, that'd be great. We then need we need 3 volunteers to help man the door from 6 to 7:30. If you could help us find those volunteers for that time as well. This will be the check-in, checking folks in. If you have a volunteer list, if your name is on the list, then you get a meal ticket. If you did not volunteer or you're not a committee member or on the partners list, and you do have to pay for your own meal. So if you have a partner, then they would have to pay, but you don't have to pay for your meal. Drinks aren't included in any of this, so you pay for your own drinks. We then need help cleaning up at the end of the event. So if anyone's still around from the committee, it would be great if you could do that. A couple of things to know is that gotta go to my thing. Dewey's donated the space for this event, so a big thank you to them. We will be recognizing them, of course. Corey Sproul is donating photography. There's going to be when we recognize you as the committee, you then have to take a picture together. We're going to get a committee picture at the end of recognizing the committee, all right? Moab Mountain Bike Association has donated volunteer prizes, like a large sum. And then of course we have additional donors, but then there's also an anonymous donor who donated the food for the committee and 80 volunteers. So very generous. I just wanted to list that off. We hope to see you there and your friends. The more people that we do have there, the louder the crowd is for recognizing our staff, our volunteers, and our committee members. So
I'll volunteer for check-in.
yes.
Nice.
Yeah. Can you bounce them? Can you bounce some people if they don't? Yeah.
Okay. And it really only goes until all of our meal tickets are gone. Right. Are there any questions about this? I really just needed to mail in some volunteers, so I'll take them on the list.
What is the date of this?
This Friday.
Friday.
Or if I could send you a poster check.
How many more volunteers?
It'd be nice to have one more for setup at 5 to 6, and then one more at the door from 6 to 7.
Help Pete set up.
Setup, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you. And then whoever is left over at the end, 9 o'clock. We just want to pack up our stuff and throw it in our car.
Last time it took like 15 minutes.
Yeah. Dave will be in bed, but you'll still be.
Sounds like a bit obvious.
Yeah, I don't think it'll take that long. We just want to get out of there fast for Dewey's. Thank you.
Kirsten's practicing staying up later now that she's on SAR.
Oh, nice.
Star. I
Nice,
know that.
Kirsten.
He went to bed.
Anything else with that, Anna, the Volunteer Appreciation Friday? Thank you, by the way. As you know, we lost Joy, unfortunately, to the
Land trust.
to the land trust, but you know, we're losing others, including Anna, but hopefully having back with nonprofit stuff. But Anna has done an awesome job in stepping up, and just we're pulling this off with a bunch of stuff going on at once. So thank you, Anna, for your hard work.
Make it happen.
She's going to come into land trust.
Oh, okay, so she was.
She's joining 2 other former county employees of the land trust.
It's gonna be my future
And
neighbor
me.
as a nonprofit.
Okay. Volunteer appreciation is on there. Okay, one thing that was brought up, and it's which we've been wanting to discuss for a while, and it's unfortunately a lot of the people for the non-biking reps aren't here, but we still want to discuss it as a discussion item. So we have spent a good amount of time, because we're in Moab, talking about biking, all things biking related. But we haven't spent a lot of time and attention, and maybe it's just because we are in Moab, for the other groups that we represent, which are a whole lot, right? We've got hiking, equestrian, roped activities, biking, trail running, skiing, active transportation. So a lot of other areas in Moab. And we want to make sure that everybody feels included and that they have a say and that they're part of it. And so the discussion, really, it's just a question to all of you, is how can we better include these folks? Understandably that there's a lot of people here that are also excited about biking, including myself. But what are ways that we can include them more, that we can do more work Wednesdays or trail work days, doing the other things like we did this last week, Wednesday. But I'd like to hear your ideas and thoughts, suggestions, opinions. Kate?
Well, I think having a specific project, like obviously Mud Springs was the specific project for kind of this season, but maybe having a specific either hiking trail or equestrian trail, or even remarking, like I think creek trails, the end creek trails. It's fine if you know where you're going. It needs a little help if you don't know where you're going. So I think having a project, or even just around one of those activities. We kind of does it.
That's a great idea.
Like Mud Springs kind of was with bikers.
Yeah. And we have, to credit to Maddie, Tyson, and Evan, and the whole SheCat crew, we have added a lot of trails, and many of them have been mountain bike trails, but there's others that are upcoming as well. I mean, I guess one piece of that maybe, do we know when the little hiking 313 trails, where the status is of those? That
They could use a little extra lining,
They could use.
so that's a potential for a day out there. Maybe not. Yeah, I think along those lines about those projects is that for our staff's sake, I don't think we do too many weekend things. For Mud Springs, we kind of like made a little bit of an exception, but I think once per season, once in the spring and once in the fall, we as GCAT could probably commit to helping host a weekend project, like a Saturday or a Sunday project. So mostly just because a lot of our work for Trail Work Wednesdays are nearby, just to catch people after work for the few hours of sunlight that we have. But, you know, like I said, once per season, I think we can make a weekend event happen for non-biking activities if there's ideas out there.
And I was thinking not only of repair and maintenance, but even maybe, you know, our RMP says we'll mark 50 miles. I think it was 25 hiking and 50 of equestrians. We're not there. You know, we met our bike goal. We haven't. We've made progress. We're not there. And I know in the past, the people who raised this are here, but you know, some people's favorite hiking spot, they actually almost want to share it with anyone else. So, you know, there's that to get over. But I think that maybe a number one activity of people come is to stroll somewhere and walk somewhere. And I think that that would be more designated mark type. And I know Kaya's been busy, but you know, and she still has to travel. But maybe we could think of that as a goal for, you know, next year. Come up with a
I think that's a really great
and I
idea.
think what Evan said about the bodies and all that. Other ones brought, yes, very good.
I think it's a great idea. Matt?
Gonna throw it out there, you might look down upon me, but what about looking more of the coons in the motorized trail community?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, why, I don't know, why would you say we'd look down at you for that? I try to attend all their meetings and we,
I was thinking it myself. I was like,
Being an outsider, I always feel like, oh, it's always the battle between motorized.
No.
To me, it's a trail's a trail.
They have some projects,
On it.
they have projects coming up too. I know was
Yeah,
it
three
the
coming up.
the chamber, or was it just something that Ashley did on her own? Got something approved where they're gonna be doing a bunch of work.
yeah, essentially they're gonna create, kind of like Trail Masters, easy, beginner, intermediate, advanced, expert of different maps in different areas for 4x4ing, jeeping, side-by-siding that I know that they're doing.
Is the current structure not good enough?
Well, apparently it's a map that's not really classified, not necessarily classified, and so they're gonna figure out a way to do that. That's all that, I haven't been to any of those meetings, so.
I thought they all had difficulty ratings.
They do.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Jeep Safari routes do, the Jeep Safari routes do, but not the non-Jeep Safari routes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think the Jeep Safari routes do, like the named ones like Hell's Fetch, they definitely.
Yeah, they're all rated 1 to 10.
Right.
And now it's just the nationwide thing, 1 to 10. It seems like it's the norm, but I'm not up to date.
Let's talk about the summer.
Man, that's a great discussion. I
Already starting next week at the Sam's class to fix Porcupine Rim. So
will you just include me in any of that information, so we can send it out to everybody?
Sam's class events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. But it'd be great to send out any work days, because I include Cliff on our emails as well, so he knows when we're doing trails and our trail work. I came to their meeting a few months ago where they talked about the two of us working together on some trails, and I think it's great. I mean, I'll look down on you for other reasons, not for this, Matt. Okay, but it's not for this. So I think being inclusive to all trails and trying to be built into everyone, I think it's a great idea. So. Okay, who else has it? Yeah.
I think from a rope activities perspective.
Yeah,
a lot
please.
of the climbers and canyoneers in the area don't really even know that Trail Mix is working on our behalf. I think a lot of climbers and canyoneers think of Trail Mix as a biking organization primarily. So I think some educational outreach would be really useful, both on, mainly on like social media, but also potentially like in the climbing gym and other community centers for those populations. I don't think a lot of climbers and canyoneers realize the work that's already been done, like at Takeout and Maverick and this spring at Mars and Scar.
Oh yeah, did you go to that?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a really good turnout.
Yeah.
I felt like, and there's over 20 people.
Yeah,
I think that came
totally.
out for that.
And I think a lot of climbers and canyoneers haven't thought a lot about the amount of effort that goes into trail work and how that is organized at this level. So I think a lot of people don't understand the value of those volunteer days, like how much work is actually getting done, how much versus how much is getting done by like the professional crews before and after those days. So I think highlighting the importance of those days and reminding people that showing up is actually really useful,
Yeah.
which is a really simple thing to do. And also reminding people of the efforts that have already occurred potentially, and getting, I think a lot of people are on board with those things. And I think one of the challenges I see with some of those volunteer days amongst my peers is that not many climbers that I know in the area have like Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 jobs. And I think the like 5 to 7 afternoon thing in the spring captures a population for a couple of hours. But I think spreading out those days or potentially including this in a survey to like see when people might be available to see if, maybe being out there all day for 8 hours and letting people wander in and out, or having a whole week window, or, days in the off season potentially, would also capture different populations that would be interested in helping.
Yeah.
And on the note of the survey, Faith wanted me to mention that she did repost the survey in the Climbers Facebook group this
Oh,
morning,
awesome.
to try to get more input about what trails to focus on and what needs people solve.
That's great. Super good ideas. I really like what you brought up. I like that you and everything you've talked about. We've really encouraged Faith and the other reps, the hiking reps and the trail running reps, and the to get a community together, have some kind of an email list, and communicate with them. And so I think that's really good. Kippy?
I don't know if this has been thought about, but we went up Granite Road, Mud Springs on Saturday, and there was quite a few people hiking the trail. About the idea, I thought of the idea that does it make sense to actually create some non-biking but hiking trails within, the confines of the bigger loop. Because a lot of our biking trails do become really popular places for people to go dog walking and hiking and all that. But with it being a focus on, a fairly fast, flowy trail system, that might lend itself to some, user conflicts if that continues. And so just an idea that it's a beautiful area, that putting in some hiking only trails, in those loops could be commercial.
That's a great idea. It'd be similar to like how we're doing Falcon Climb, but it would be for people walking, people hiking, trail running, whatever.
I'm just thinking for the runners mainly.
You would, Matt.
Well, on that note, to me, it's like, I feel like if somebody comes to town and they want to go for a trail run or even run on the pavement, yeah, there's the bike path, of course, but it's nowhere place is it advertised, or is it advertised, like a good example, Bar F. You go out there early in the morning, you're doing the weekends, you see probably me and about 5 other runners, or sometimes more. There's no trail that says, welcome trail runner. Welcome, go run this. That's approved by our committee that is like for dog walks or for running or for horses and so forth. Yeah, we all take advantage of the bike path, the single track for bike biking. But there's not, a stamp for approval. That's one thing I would love to move forward on getting approval. Hey, this is great for hiking also.
Sure.
This is what we approve, Grant County approves, go do, and make it live on our Discover Moab website.
Yeah, I think horse trails out there at Mutt Springs would be a huge hit. Probably have to build another car for their trailers.
Yeah. These are really great ideas. I'm sorry, Emily.
I was just wondering if, like, Faith survey, and luckily I came in with the master plan, and there's been a huge active transportation survey. Have the other user groups done similar things, where you reach out to that group of users and you say, what are your needs, what are your desires, and then we base what we're doing off of that?
That is such a good question. Here's what I'd say. It has happened, but only a little bit. Our best example is Marty and Steven with the equestrian groups. I mean, they come every time with this is what our users are saying. This is what they want. This is the feedback we're getting. And so that's really good. David, what I would say is the next most active group with biking as far as, hey, here's what we're hearing about this. But yeah, that's and we really empower our reps to go out and to have a Facebook discussion, a meeting, an email list, or whatever else. I know my wife is a trail runner. I think Matt, she was on some list that somebody was sending out for a while. I'm not sure if they're still doing it. It was a trail.
Yeah, there's on Facebook, there's Red Rock
But yeah, Emily, it's a really great call out, and for sure you're empowered to do that. And then if we can help with any of that, let's do it.
What would I contend with the master plan having just done a survey?
Yeah. That was pretty perfect.
Yeah.
These are really great. Any other ideas to include, Maddie?
Yeah, I guess just on that note, it's really helpful, like like that climbing volunteer day. That was great because basically we need people to bring us the ideas and then we can help like facilitate the work part of it. But we just don't know, like our weaknesses that we just have, basically 5 staff, 5 of them are part-time. So we just really don't know like what is happening out in the field. So we just need people to tell us about problems too, so that we can help find solutions.
Maybe making a post on social media about that. Just, if you see something on the trail, this is who you contact. Please take a photo and give us coordinates.
It's like the poop coordinates, right? That the health department has.
Yeah.
Give us the poop coordinates. Tim?
Don't the trail running races have to get a permit through BLM? Yes. So can't something be tacked onto the BLM email or approval or whatever, saying, hey, please share these maps of trail running opportunities besides the race in Moab and stuff? I mean, you've already got, these organizers are already communicating with all these people. Why not get with them?
Their maps are.
No, not just for the racing, though, for all of the trails, just say, or this is your resource to go to for other running opportunities in Moab. Because I know most of these people stick around for weeks, so they want to run someplace else in the course.
Which reminds me, there's our last race this Saturday. And also,
Well,
what?
there's 3 new races.
Not running.
But one on the field. The other 2 are.
Oh, okay, right, yeah, okay, I'd be out there on the bike trails, I guess.
Yes. But yeah, on that note, though, even from events, because there's 18 running foot races now and 3 on the pavement with the rest of the trails. I would love to see in the future all the race directors to host trail ambassadors and something at the start finish line, so they, it's like, hey, these trails don't hard work of the citizens in Moab are doing these, and like the last race, the trail marathon this weekend is almost 2,000 runners. That's 2,000 people basically out of 10, and I would love to see a donation box. Say, hey, please donate to help build the trails and stuff for all these outdoor events. Even mountain biking to.
Yeah. And I can only speak for Outer Bike because I help organize that, but we do it when people buy tickets, they can donate to Trail Mix and Search and Rescue. We had Search and Rescue this last year.
Yeah.
And when people sign up or round up to it. Yeah.
It seems to me there, and maybe there's not enough awareness of this, but the county, or not the county, the Moab Office of Tourism, the Moab Tourism Advisory Board, so many of these things, right? They're working with a company to basically advertise Moab. And businesses that promote those events could probably get could probably get into that mix. And in a sense, these people who are way smarter than a lot of us here in marketing with getting, digital content that's geofenced to your activity and your age in such a way, and it would directly market what you're talking about. You would simply just have to reach out to them. I think it's Camp Stories, and you remember the other one?
Tourists and for Madden, but I think their primary points of contact are Allie Harford and Nick.
Yeah. It seems like there would be a connection there that you would be able to reach a much larger audience and it would advertise those trails, because that's what they want to do. Is they want to market Moab. They want people to come here, and they don't want everyone to think that it's just expensive and noisy.
Sure.
And my understanding is that the next couple of months is information collection And so it might be good to reach, if anyone here was interested in these ideas, and I missed part of the conversation, but reach out to Mick, get on that information list of people to contact, of people to talk to about trails and just anything related to our local trail culture, local trail or visitor experience.
Awesome. This has been some great discussion and some really good points. I wrote down, I took a bunch of notes here. Obviously, we have Kathy's notes as well. I really would like to share them with the other reps that aren't here as well. Any other ideas or suggestions to make sure we're including all of the Trail Mix folks?
I'll just comment like on the Discovery website. I'm speaking of the runner side. You know, if you just go to like our competition, Bend, Oregon. I consider that our competition versus people going there versus coming to Moab.
Huh.
And yeah, if you go to their website, they got lots of stuff in runners. Yes. And that's a market that you can capture here for a company. Go for a run. But then the bigger marketplaces is New Zealand, Queenstown, New Zealand, and Chamonix, France, up in the Alps. You know, you go to their websites, once again, there's tons of outdoor activities on those two websites, and I feel like they are the masters of capturing outdoor dollars and stuff. And how can we tie into that, like you were saying, it's just to market that a little bit better and take a look at these other channels that are already doing it.
I'd be happy to go and to those towns and have a look. I mean,
He'll stay.
on behalf of the organization.
I think it's only fair. It's fair, we need to send it.
Matt, if you can come up with some routes that you think Grant County should suggest, we've got to contact the Office of Tourism and Discover Moab. So, I mean, winter's a great time for this. So
Yeah.
if you come over to our office sometime, we'll
I would love to.
take a meeting.
Yeah, by the way, we like trail runners, okay? It's just you we're not sure about. But we like everyone else, Matt. So, no, I'm just kidding. Really great feedback. Okay. Anything else to discuss for these folks? Okay. Awesome.
I will, one more comment. When we were out riding Bud Springs, Pierce commented that in 2008, it was labeled mountain bike focus area.
Uh-huh.
How long has that been? It's like,
You want to know why it? It's in the different town.
yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But if we could maybe have a trail running and equestrian focus areas and at least like label as such.
We have,
Yeah, maybe.
in the train,
Okay.
but we don't trail.
But are those
Yeah.
focus areas, are trails being built in those focus
They
areas
have
or
been,
planned?
they have been, so they have been, but, you know, I mean, they're still right. So we have hiking with, equestrian. So the idea was to contact. But we didn't take the trail. Sorry.
I mean, just seeing the difference in the surface at Mud Springs. I mean, it's dirt. And really don't have that on any of our other trails.
Sure.
To that extent.
Berms and dirt.
Yeah. And so for trail running, oh yeah, that's nice.
I'm
And
going
for
outside.
horses, oh yeah, that's nice. You know, it's a much different area and I don't want to see it oversaturated with stuff all over it, but I mean, there's old roads that cut in through that area that they use to access the trail building and all that. So Maddie's got her hand up. So I'm sure she's got.
Well, I just must remind everyone that that's San Juan County, so it wouldn't be this committee spearheading that, but maybe if there's any constituents of San Juan County.
I can help with that. Yep.
You know, I think that San Juan County has talked for a few years about starting kind of a trail mix type committee, and maybe they even had one for a little while, but yeah, so we can't unfortunately probably lead that charge, but maybe supporting folks in that community who are interested in doing it.
Yeah, I think well said. Yeah. We're really lucky to have it there. And I would love to see more things like that and everywhere else. And I think Dave, to your point, let's talk more about equestrian trails, where that could be and how we could help with that. And running trails, where that could be adjacent to, or what trails would it be great to see that be next to. I think it's a great idea. So, okay. This next discussion item is a pretty big one. And it's a big one because it would include all of us if we're going to make it happen. So up to this point, within the last few years anyway, the Spring Spruce Up, which brings 100 or so folks, at least the last few years has brought 100 or so folks, some inside, some outside of town, that have come and worked on trails for a whole day. That really was organized, and that time spent to make sure that happens, and how we pulled off by a member of GCAT who's no longer there, and we don't have funding for that position really going forward, especially with losing trail ambassadors as well. So Joy organized it last time. For 2026, we really don't have anyone. We're pulling off this volunteer recognition day on Friday because we have Anna, but we may not have Anna at that point.
I still exist.
Okay, great.
Our partnership will look a little bit different.
And so we need to have a quick discussion on if you all want to still see that, stay alive and see a Spring Spruce Up dog. I know a lot of you know. Does anyone not know what the Spring Spruce Up is? Just wait if we need to give a quick descriptor too. Okay.
I do want to raise my hand as speaker.
Yeah, absolutely. Because really the question is, do we want to do it in 2026? Can we help? What is that going to look like?
I don't know. I just want to, I've helped with the Spring Spruce Up in the past. The nonprofit will want to be a partner. I am going to be moving into a brand new role. It's going to be very hectic for me, but the nonprofit will be able to assist in some capacity in 2027. It's just not going to be 2026.
Okay, awesome. So 2026 though, we will need, I appreciate that, Anna. So the question is to you Trail Mix folks who are the speakers of what's going to happen next year. Do you want it to happen? Do we want to do that? Do we see value in it? Do we want to still pull it off? And could you help with it? This is really the questions.
Scale it back. Maybe think about if there's not capacity, maybe having 2 or 3 instead of 10.
Okay, so less projects.
Because you'd rather take a smaller bite and do it right.
That's a really good call. Okay, so if we don't have someone to help us organize, maybe just a few projects, maybe they're on a bigger scale though, in case we do have a good amount of people who will show up.
The first year we did it, we hired Makeda to run it, right?
We did.
What were those funds, Maddie? How did we hire Makeda? Was it through?
That was with city funding.
Events.
There's still a possibility. We had a really, really challenging time. Like I feel like we kind of got lucky that first year, and then we were really not able to hire anyone again because no one was available to work that schedule.
Get funding on the thing also, or?
No, they don't exist.
They did some marketing. They did some marketing for us,
They weren't really helpful.
but they didn't really do other marketing. No,
Do we have a team?
we don't. That's the whole point. Look, first is like, do we want to do it? That's the first question, and then we can select the date, and then we can talk about how many projects. Maybe it's fewer, and this is the time to figure this out here.
Love to see it continue, and I think that even if it's a smaller scale, I mean, just continuing the event, I think it's really hard sometimes to take a break and get it regoing. You know, it's way better if it's like people can expect it and we somehow make something out. But I would love to say I can help some capacity. I don't know if that is.
So it seemed like having a point person of some sort is pretty essential. Not having a committee of volunteers, that's always a bit of a rougher to have.
Yeah. As of now, it probably would be Samantha or myself until we potentially could find someone else or both of us.
And that's also definitely a busy time of year with everything ramping up in spring and people coming.
And to be clear, I'm happy to help. I just feel like every year in my position there's just no surprises.
More stuff,
so
less staff.
I think it's really helpful to have some assurance that there's support.
I think some of the hardest things to coordinate are the signups and the pizza and all the food and like from financials and stuff. And then the dinner with all the prizes and all that in the evening. So I think that's where I could see that scaling back, taking a lot of work out, because like, as far as getting projects out there and a bunch of different projects and sending people to those, all the partner organizations kind of manage their own projects. So those are actually pretty easy. So we could host those 100 people again, I think, with not a huge amount of coordination. It's just like those parties before and after that take a really dedicated person with a lot of time. So I guess my question would be like, would it still be Spring Spruce with a lot of events, but just a little less on like the
Work is
celebration?
its own reward, man.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
So I volunteered with that a couple times,
Mhm.
and I would just like to suggest don't do it during the June safari because I'm tied up with that.
Sure. That's a good call to not
So
have a person move it.
this past year, second weekend of April,
That would be cute.
yeah, and so that would put it on the 11th for 26.
It's also the start of Grant County spring break.
Yeah.
You know, originally it was like the last weekend in April, the first week in May or
It's
something.
in, the first was in May.
What do we have going on? You want to do a quick Google and see if what's going on at the end of April that weekend? That would be,
This car show is the last weekend.
oh, car show. It's the first.
It's usually like the last.
Always the last weekend in April.
Well, yeah, I guess it depends. Yeah, it's Friday is May 1st. So,
Weekend before that was the car show.
okay. What if we did?
Definitely 3 running races.
Okay. What if we did May Day at Friday? I don't know what events are going on, so I don't know if that's a good time to suggest, but because I like what you're saying, Evan, and I like what you're saying. Like maybe we scale it back a little bit.
I will just approve that this weekend.
Okay.
What about the weekend after Easter?
Which would
Easter on like the
It's the 11th.
Easter is the 6th,
6th, yeah.
or sorry, 5th. Easter Monday is on the 6th. So you're saying following that?
So a week after that, I mean, I know it would still be like probably some spring break going, but that's actually good for us because it's like families coming in.
We could utilize those.
So if we did 10th, 11th, Friday, Saturday, or 11th, 12th, Saturday, Sunday, I don't remember how we did it.
We did it Friday, Saturday.
That'd be the same weekend it was this past year.
What do you guys think of that? Does that conflict with Safari too much,
Can you
or
say that again, sorry?
So last year, it was the second weekend of 12th.
it'd be April 10th and 11th, Friday, Saturday?
Can we put that as a tentative and then we can just check the
Uh-huh.
calendar?
Yeah. But it's sounding like I'm hearing from you all that we do want to do it, even if it's a little bit smaller, and even if the celebrations aren't as big. Evan, to your point.
Even though, if there's no one to organize them, you know.
If I get a pat on the back from Samantha, I'm feeling pretty good for the rest of the weekend. So just that.
I'll have some capacity too, to like help coordinate.
I mean, you could really just focus it on one day. Like Friday, other than maybe it's a time to sign up or something. I don't think it needs to be.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe just Saturday afternoon.
Like, let's just do Saturday morning where we give them t-shirts, divvy it up, and then send it to their project.
Evan said earlier, you know, have some people volunteer maybe they're on all day on the weekend, well, that's fair, first one.
I kind of like that
Also,
idea.
I wonder if we want to provide lunch again,
And we could just,
because a lot of people go straight to their,
But then how would they know what projects? They wouldn't go straight to a project because we would do that the night before. So that would be Saturday morning, we would decide.
Saturday morning, we just don't need to provide lunch.
Bring
The
your own lunch.
sandwich part,
Agree.
bring your
Like
own
if
lunch.
you all just provide coffee and some pastries, that's the
Yeah.
sign up for an hour.
Bring your own sandwich.
Granola bars.
I like the idea of just doing Saturday, showing up, we get the sign up for the project then, and then
Yeah.
just go and,
Then you only have to worry about
And I-
coffee, pastries and dinner.
I think we might not have to worry about shuttles. I think people can figure out how to get out there. So that takes another thing off the list. So I think we can scale this back while still being effective.
I think this is a great idea. There's a reason you have a committee here, huh?
Yeah, it might be that certain projects make their own shuttles, especially if they're with us.
There are still some folks probably that would want to help with shuttles if we needed it too, so. Who had, Marty?
Well, depending upon what the projects are. And, like, seems like some of the heavy users,
bikers. So what about trying to get some businesses, bike shops, get them involved as far as volunteering?
I think the biggest problem is that that's a very busy weekend in the height of the bike season would be
For sure.
tough for-
But I like the idea of really what that we could utilize is like, and we can ask David, I think he's still in here, of just like, hey, can you get the word out to all of your guests and all of your people? This is happening.
Absolutely.
Come out because we want to work on some bike trails. Is that a possibility, David, at all?
Yeah, definitely getting those posters like as far ahead of time as we can, and then we can just like mention it to everybody coming in.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, Marty. Okay, so April 11th, tentatively, just doing that day, they'd show up that morning. We'd figure out what projects they're going to. Have some coffee and danishes and send them on their way, and then we do some kind of a dinner celebration that night.
And maybe even not that, because that's what you were saying.
I think with one food providing thing,
Oh,
assuming that
right.
we can still get like a donation.
Our very first one, I think I did the dinner for it, or I organized that, and it really wasn't because we had, but I don't know what funds we would have or not at all. I don't know. I worked out a deal of getting it for a better price, and then they figured out the catering. So
We could shed like pizza the night before, lunch the day of. If we can shed those two things, dinner that night, I think it's totally manageable.
this is good. I like this. And DKP's style, like then we're not skipping a year. We're just keeping it going. I like this. Okay, so let's, if you all would just tentatively add it onto your schedule. April 11th. Spring spruce up. And then that way we can all just start planning for it. That would be amazing. Because again, we'll probably be asking a lot of you for some help to pull this off. And Maddie, maybe just let us know if there's any, or anyone, I guess, just let us know if there's any conflicting things with that date,
Okay.
with that
I'll pick
Saturday.
up on that, and I'll also put some thought into how we can use the funds that we have from the city, maybe to the best advantage.
Awesome.
And nothing on the Grand County event calendar.
Cool.
So far.
Well, we're gonna add spring spruce up maybe. Yeah.
And actually, if we get it in early enough, we can get it on that Moab happenings calendar that
Oh.
we sent out at the holidays.
When do we have to have it to Teresa by?
Almost right now.
Does anyone know Teresa real well? We could ask her that question.
I can ask her that
Okay.
question.
Let's do that. Okay, great. Well, I feel good about that. Still spring spruce up 2026, still happening. I love it. Way to go. Way to go, everybody. Okay, Utah open meetings, training and discussion. I know I sent out a link. I added it to this to complete. I know I got Emily's certificate that she completed. Did anyone else complete this open meetings, training, and discussion? So anyone that's a voting member, if you could please just have that in your notes to complete it and just email me that you've completed. That would be
Different from the other one?
same one. I'm just bringing it up every time until I get it from everybody.
Don't we have to do that every year?
Every year.
I do it every year. with
Yeah.
the Commission, but,
Every year they say.
so we're gonna have to do it in 2 months again.
So you're saying if people, if they haven't, they should just wait? Is that what you're saying, Jacques?
No, just bring it up.
For the year.
Yeah. The only thing in my certificate, I have it through the OSTA board. and
Oh, I'm sure. Okay.
It'll be done at the same.
Awesome.
The same,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. So if you haven't, it's in the Trail Mix notes. KP asked that we would do a link, and so I've sent it out on everything. So, okay, awesome. Emily, because Katie's not here, I actually don't know how long Katie's going to be around doing that master plan. You want to speak to us a little bit about the master plan and kind of where we're at with it, or do you know?
I can read you what I wrote down on the 23rd of October when we had our last meeting on it. The TAC was giving feedback on the draft of it that week. Most of it was filled in. I think we we're just waiting on an implementation roadmap and a prioritized list of projects. And then it was going to be presented to the city planning commission. and city council and the county planning commission and the county.
They're trying to do that all at once, right?
Yeah, we're no longer doing that all at once.
Okay,
So,
good try.
let's see, so I don't know if I can honestly remember all of the presentations Katie has done the last 2 weeks, but, last week she presented to the commission, or the county planning commission. And then this Friday, the public hearing starts for the city planning commission.
Okay.
So what will probably happen is the city is a bit ahead of the county process.
Okay.
And I forget the exact requirements for the public hearing, but I think basically it's like she needed to present, and then the public hearing opens for 10 days, and then there's another meeting after those 10 days. So we're kind of to the point where there's a bunch of lead times needed for the next series of meetings that are quite complicated that Katie has figured out for us generously.
Okay.
And it looks like it probably won't come to the county commission until January.
Yeah, which actually probably isn't going to happen at all because Katie's not here. So.
Okay. Well,
We'll follow
hopefully,
up on that later.
hopefully it's just because I know it's a lot of work it was done, and it's really extensive. I went to that last meeting, and the work that they've done in this company that we've hired, it's pretty amazing. And if we can really implement a lot of things that they've proposed and things that are out there, it's going to make Moab a better place. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Anything else, Emily or Maddie or Chuck about that? Okay. Mud Springs review. Well, we opened, we did a soft opening, a sampling. I don't know what we called it.
Sneak peek, soft opening
Sneak peek. Was that last week? Has it been last week now?
last week.
Holy cow. Feels like that was a long time ago. Last week. And I know some of you were there, but it was really, really impressive, really amazing. A lot of folks were there. A lot of people showed up. Parking lots, it sounds like, have been pretty full since opening, right? And I think to Dave, to your point, it's a trail like we haven't seen. There's some berms. I've got so many comments and text messages and other things just saying how great it is. Please, if you have any feedback about it, here's what I should say. If you have positive feedback, please share it with me. I'm happy to send along to our group that built the trails, but then also to San Juan County for allowing us to get it built over there. What else, May, should we say about Mud Springs?
Phase 2, we're still working with, I've been working with Carrie Nelson at the BLM as the point person on that project. We're still navigating some of the issues involved with SEPA. So,
Will be a straggler.
yes, the sensitive endemic plant species out there. And so with the government shutdown, unfortunately, there's some meetings we'd like to be having right now to plan, but we can't. We're kind of just on hold until the government opens the end of those.
Carrie still, she's still.
Yeah, we need the botanist.
Get her.
Just a reminder about the winter closure and to emphasize how important that is. I think people are understanding that it's serious. We're gonna take it very seriously, but just to keep that word spread. That's a great question. I believe so. Is it okay to walk out there during the closure?
Oh, well, yeah, I think so, but I guess I'm not sure.
Maybe I can clarify that, because I could see it being a popular, like, dog.
Yeah, you know, the closure's for deer, but, you know, the thing is,
would wanna really
walking
have their
isn't
dogs right.
regulated in the same way as wheels are, so we'll have to see it. So, but that is, I'm trying to find out, it would be what it says in the decision record. So it doesn't say, I doubt if it says close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might not.
I'll check.
It's like so much clay and the shapes of those berms and like yeah. We'll find like where that says officially, but then.
I know, I think it'd be good to make recommendations to the city.
Yeah.
And maybe if there's a problem, a couple of days.
I mean, the whole idea, well, it's deer winter range, but, well, we can stay off in winter, okay, then we can talk, so I think that's why it's important, it's kind of that, you know,
My backyard is.
Yep.
My backyard is deer.
I know.
And so.
It's true.
those are real deer, they're such. Anyway.
I will say, for some people, is Tyson found a
Yeah.
mountain lion killed deer on the trail.
Yeah.
Or just off the trail at Mud Springs. So there are hungry mountain lions out there in the winter.
Yeah.
Jason,
Just a joke.
I think they told Jason told you that.
yeah.
Have you raced against mountain lion, Matt? Trail running?
Never once seen real mountain lions.
Okay. Okay.
I've had other friends who ran into mountain lions. I've been happy.
They respond to running.
I know. I got my little pocket. knife.
People that recently ate gingerbread cookies and go running over there, they might respond to you. So just report back if you're here next month. You can report back on that. There is signs that say winter closures. That they're already on there. Have we got the rest of the signage on there? Or are we waiting until next year?
Which signage?
Is there any more signage going on there for Mud Springs?
Right
'Cause I-
now, we have all the temporary signage up. I
Yeah.
think there's a few more signs that the BLM has on order for the winter closure.
Okay.
But we're gonna order nice finished dye bond fancy signs, that'll be ordered over the winter that we're working with the BLM to make.
Are you gonna be able to cable off all the entrances?
Entrances in every intersection is going to be cable off. So
Awesome. Yeah, that'll help a lot.
Yeah. And that part kind of is more falling on the BLM, like, Green County is actually not involved with the maintenance of the trail system, so we have some funding to help maybe with like the spring when they've settled and do some touch ups, but for the long-term maintenance, there's actually, right now the BLM is listed as responsible agency.
But props, please, to your whole crew. I mean, it's amazing. Both when we had all the Nike kids ride it, and then at that opening there's just giant grins, I think, for everybody. I mean, there was a few people that looked like they were gonna have a heart attack at the top of the climb, but after that, there was some giant grins. So thank you. It's been huge. It's been a huge project. So great job. Okay, those are all the discussion items. The only folks that sent me anything were GCAT. And man, I figured with the recording, we'd wait till the end to do the kind of in-memory thing. But if you want to, actually, we should do a quick, okay, it's 12 o'clock, everyone stand up and do a stretch. Do some kind of a yoga stretch. We made it into the memory reports, so way to go.
Very right.
Running.
I was at work on like a weekend.
In the sun.
Yeah, so they work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. That's night and weekend.
I did tell her when we were gonna be outside, so.
You said first. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, you can be in the sun still.
Yeah, but then it's hard. So what is the cookies? You know, I like all that ginger. Just
Like everything, it's perfect. It's true. All right, everybody, thank you. Quick stretch completed. We're gonna start with member reports with GCAT with Maddie and Evan.
What did I tell you I was gonna report on? Did I send you a list?
You did. These ones right here. That's you.
Oh, right.
Can you use that?
Oh, yeah, okay, non-motorized trail master plan update. I think we kind of covered that already, but basically like the public feedback closed. We've been working with the consultant on kind of like the analysis side and preparing the documents. We're still kind of putting the final touches on some of the documents, putting together the maps and whatnot, but that's starting to move through the process for the city, and then we're beginning that process with the county. Mud Springs, we talked about. Trail Ambassador Program update, I'll turn over to Anna in a second. Motorized trail program update. So Kelton's actually about to head out on the Grand Canyon, so he'll be like unplugged for a month. But starting January 1st is when that new position starts. So he's converting from a OHV ambassador to more of an OHV program coordinator. And so he'll hopefully be the contact for the motorized trail committee and whatever other groups are sort of involved in that motorized trail maintenance. So everyone can look forward to that. We're excited about it. And then signage project update. So this is one of the projects we kind of had scheduled originally for this past summer. And then with a bunch of other things that occurred at the county, it's kind of been pushed back. But we do have funds to replace a lot of those really sunburnt signs. You guys probably have seen like on Pipe Dream, Mag 7. So sometimes we get reports about those. We're aware of them, and we have a plan, but we're a little behind on our plan. So hopefully by the spring we'll have the crew out and replacing those older signs. And let's see, do I have anything else before I turn it to Anna? I don't think so. I'll give an update.
Okay. All of you that don't know, I manage the Trail Ambassador Program. It is becoming a nonprofit. Our nonprofit has been incorporated in the state of Utah. And next week we'll be filing with the IRS to get our 501c3 status. It's called Stewart Moab. I'll be the executive director of it. Mariah is going to become the program manager of the Moab Trail Ambassador Program. It's a big change for both of us in the scope of our responsibilities. I am not disappearing. In fact, you might see me more at these meetings. We're working through the transition process with the county. I think we'll be on the commission agenda at some point in the next week for that transition, the final transition. After that, I'll be exploring all types of partnerships, connections, fundraising events, not events, I can't handle an event, but fundraising opportunities. So the next 2 weeks, I'm pretty overwhelmed, but come December, come January, please reach out to me to talk through ideas, next steps, any sort of fundraising opportunities. We have critical staff that we want to maintain as we move forward.
Okay. And we're excited to see what you do, and we're excited that it's not going away. So thank you for doing that. That's excellent.
In the trails world, we've got a little bit of maintenance that we can do. So if there's any emergency stuff, the crew's out on Quanzo doing some triage right now. But if there's any like emergency things to be done for winter, be a holler with, photo coordinates, yada, yada, yada. But we're probably going to start building Falcon Line, and we're trying to get as much of that done this year in 2025. So we'll be building into the winter until the ground freezes. So get ready for some more volunteering if you still got it in you.
Although apparently I was only like 1 or 2 hours this last year that I volunteered, but I'll put in another 1 or 2 for this.
When is that scheduled to start? We don't have a schedule for it, but probably in the next couple of weeks we'll start, and that'll just go until probably Christmas time. So
I'll email it out.
And some rock work and stuff. So I think the bike shops, bike shop people getting involved too, but probably has some bike shops to donate a couple days as well.
That's awesome. While we're talking about trail work, just as a note, Patrick, maybe to the city trail I just rode for lunch yesterday. I'm sure maybe some of you saw. I rode the paved trail up to 313 yesterday, and there was a giant rock fall. Did you guys see that? There's a big, so you can still kind of get by, just a little slim, but I don't know if that's been reported or not by anybody.
No, I haven't heard of it, so I'll make sure it was there yesterday evening.
It's just after the bridge, heading north. It was pretty good.
One more thing, Mud Springs, we asked about hiking out there, and the NEPA says an annual seasonal closure for all recreational uses of the trail from December 1st to April 15th will be effective. So no one out there. Yeah, no recreation.
Yeah, maybe technically you could go off the trails, but. Well, I think there was like some maybe conversation, maybe I shouldn't even be saying this publicly because I don't quite remember, but for people who are like, hunting is popular out there, people who are using that area, there might not be, it might just be the focus on the trails. Sure. We'll do more research.
You can chase mountain lions around it. Just don't be on it, Matt. Okay. All right, great. Thank you. Katie.
Well, the government's been shut down since October 3rd. Some people, you might wonder why some people are working there's specific things we're supposed to work on, so we're gonna work on this at our specialization for. We can work on campground, we can work on oil and gas floors, gold and copper. So, but there are certain things we can't work on, for like new recreation, and so hopefully we'll be back at it. But are there any questions? Like we kept our campgrounds open and kept all our events going. We didn't cancel our fee, which they tried to do. It doesn't work very well. So, I mean, not even live on so much higher. Just let the extra fees continue. And let the campers. But are there, apart from that,
Thanks for repping and thanks for coming out and helping individually separate of the BLM. Thanks for coming and helping last week. Oh, I guess we probably should report on that, huh? On the,
Yes, those are the things.
Tyson did say that. You gotta do that really quick.
Yep, okay, sorry, going back to my report. There it is, I wrote it down. Well, so yeah, last Wednesday, we had an event out for active transportation, actually, on the paved paths.
and Emily was there.
Emily was there. And we just want to thank the weeds department, the roads department, and the maintenance department. We kind of right now at the county have like a little cooperative to manage those paved paths, since it takes a bunch of different skill sets. And so roads reported to us that there was a bunch of trees growing up under the bridge and vegetation starting to, rub up against it, which isn't great. And so we got a bunch of volunteers and weeds came out with chainsaws. We were able to clear a lot of that. We had 2 truckloads. Pretty good.
Was that like big truckloads? There was no small. I mean, it's impressive.
Yeah. So thank you to everyone who came out.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Katie, for coming as
And
an
then-
individual citizen.
Bike path to Grandstaff, I think is scheduled to start as so, the gap or
Say when.
the markets.
The bike path is going to be.
Starting like this coming year.
Okay.
So that'll be nice. I myself driving down the road, when someone's on the bike path, piece that goes into the road, and there's 2 cars coming. It's bad. So
Yeah.
that safety.
Thank you, Katie. Speaking of government shutdown, we don't have Brian here. Sam's not able to be here. State Parks normally would be here, but they, Brad and company were not able to be here. So that goes next to you, Jacques, county report.
Man, I've been doing nothing for meetings for the last couple of weeks. It's budget season, so all things money. And I guess some of the stuff's already been reported. We've been working hard with Anna to get the Trail Ambassador program in a good place outside of the county and a nonprofit. I think those conversations have been going great. And moving along. And can't think of anything else right now.
Are there any county commission, anything that you would need support and help of anybody here for trails, etc.? Anything for budgeting, anything for anything, or has that already been done?
It hasn't been done. We're going to be looking at a few different budgeting workshops, but if there is a specific item that comes up that would affect trails, then I would let everyone know ASAP for sure.
Yeah, please let us know if there is.
Yeah.
We're happy to support you all.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Brendan.
Thanks for everything. Yeah. All right. Next is Patrick.
I don't have a ton of updates since last meeting. We're still just continuing to wait on the initial proposal from Outset and the wayfinding signage plan specific to the city. So excited to get that back and kind of move forward. And in the meantime, I'm just trying to compile a list of problem areas along the creek path, up the parkway. So if anybody knows of any that we haven't talked about, just looking for temporary solutions. Looking for that 191 crossing to possibly get painted up our park there. I want to get it easier by the underpass by the garden because we're getting a lot of feedback there. So just kind of looking for so we get that more comprehensive plan.
Did we figure out I just took my daughter across by the Bark Park there, because you got to cross that because you can't. Yeah. Is there? I thought we talked about potentially having some more signage or something for crossing. Or we're gonna do something there.
Definitely, and I spoke with Michael Black on that. We would like to just, that crosswalk's been identified. There's like 3 or 4.
We should do something with it.
Maybe more, yeah, that they're gonna do the high visibility, more signage.
Mm-hmm.
I asked about like a hawk light there. It's a little weird to just right at that intersection.
Yeah.
It's a busy intersection, so I don't know if you'd be able to get a hawk light approved. But certainly in the interim, it's better, high visibility paint. But that's the new standard for the city. It's got that, I can't remember what the English material is, but it says, you see it at a couple of intersections. So that's on there.
The crosswalk probably can't be moved.
No, and that we kicked that idea around too, but I think that's where the sidewalks sit down. Now there is with the creek, but on the other side of that, there's no curb, or there's just curb. There's not an access point to the sidewalk.
Because it's all that turning in the city market and all
Right.
that, that's what makes that.
Yeah.
To right
Yeah,
down to
it's a
the
weird
dog
spot.
park to pop over the.
Yeah, exactly. That makes, I would like to see crosswalks there.
Yeah. No, that'd be great. I drive my daughter to school every day and it's always like a cluster at that intersect, people dropping kids off at school and no one knows who to stop for who and just, yeah, it's a tough thing.
I would say definitely the more unsafe areas that at least on our trails.
That could be a, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
That specific intersection too could be a good area, like those, what's the name for it? Those like temporary bump outs that they've done. Just something to maybe cut out a parking space on either side so that when you're coming off that little street, you can actually see a little bit, like have a little bit better visibility because you kind of have to nose out before you can see who's coming and people are sometimes coming pretty fast.
Yeah, get pedestrians further out so those vehicles turning right. Yeah, there's some options. I can bring that one back up to city leadership because I do really recognize that's a rough one. Sure.
Yep.
You're responsible for the lights along with that as well.
Yep, any sort of light.
Okay, the one at the steel spot is out.
Okay.
That's real.
Which is that's the area where we've had lots of I shouldn't say lots. We have had some crime happen and a lot of complaints in that area right there. Probably good.
I would know that if I went out.
We're talking on at the wrong time. Like I've seen it on.
Go ahead, David.
Just to add while talking about like the crosswalks and bike path intersections of the Williams Way and 100 West intersection is quite dangerous as well.
That's terrible. I've almost gotten hit
So
there.
I know that one's
at least twice in the
gonna
last
be
couple weeks.
painted. That's one of the ones.
Yeah,
on this
it is.
For a high visibility.
When you go to, you're driving there, you have to like pull out so far to be able to see.
So maybe moving that crosswalk I mean, if you want pedestrians further off the street, but moving it closer to 100 West. So that you can actually pull your people out.
The problem is most people are looking for, I had multiple times a day, people who are pulling in going east on Williams Way, they're pulling all the way in to where the bike path goes across and they're only looking to the left because cars are coming from that way because they want to make a right turn and frequently there's bikes coming from the other way and that's where you get into the
myself
problem.
all the time with the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a multi-use path, so there's multi-directional traffic, so maybe some signage that says
Mhm.
look both ways or something to avert traffic or, yeah.
Or have, if there's, I know it's harder to see, but if they could just, if there was a clear place for them to stop a little bit before the bike path, like on 200 North, you know, that intersection, the stop, the lines for the stop, for the cars are clearly back a little ways, but that does create the problem for the cars not being able to have clear visibility either way, but.
I think the stopping and then creeping forward once you realize the path is clear is.
Right.
But I think all the new, high-vis crosswalks, that accompanies that, there's that bar, bar for stopping, and then so there's a buffer, right, like 5 feet.
Yeah.
3 to 5 feet between that and the actual crosswalk.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that would be included in all those.
I think one of the other things about that intersection is people turning right, get into the bike lane and kind of create 2 lanes there.
Yeah. Seen that too. Thank you for being open to and passing these along. We also, because we don't want you just to bring problems. There was, I'm sure you guys have seen, if you've been at the last 3 weeks, that all that flash flooding that happened up north near Arches, and they did a lot of removal on that on the paved trail. They did a ton of work. So please thank them as well instead of just saying like, hey, here's all the areas that are terrible. you could thank them for all that work.
There's a big rock fall yesterday on the path on the county side.
Talk about.
Yeah, maybe you.
Citizens cleaned it up.
Oh, they did.
Yeah,
Is
it
that
actually,
yesterday evening? Cause it was there yesterday evening.
it's gone. No, I went and rode, and when I went out, it was there. When I came back, it was gone. Actually, it was Ed Oak and who's the woman who does, she was actually shoveling some sand and stuff over there too. And then they recruited somebody else, and they were literally able to push all that rock fall away.
Wow. Cool. Never mind on that then.
Yes. Yeah, it was, I was impressed.
Oh, there's some big rocks in
There
there,
were some
so.
big rocks in that one.
That's impressive.
It was a pretty good rock fall.
All right, Patrick, anything else?
That's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Scott,
Let's see.
how'd we do? I heard we had a busy October. How are we for
October was our
November?
busiest month. This last Saturday was our busiest day ever, with 5 calls in one day.
Wow.
Let's see, we had a rescue of a base jumper a little over a week ago, and that was put on social media and generated the most views and comments ever. A lot of people under the impression that all we do is rescue base jumpers. And that the county pays for the helicopter service, but that's not true. Let's see, last year we did 139 calls, and that was our second busiest year ever. And right now we've done 133. So we're likely to surpass 2024 unless we shut Moab down. We haven't had nearly as many calls to the parks as I thought we were going to. A couple, but I think they have a small staff that they're able to somehow keep doing their thing. I mean, law enforcement is not furloughed, so they're grabbing those people from Delicate Arch or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of search and rescue
Okay.
world.
Well, thank you for the rescues. Thanks for helping people. Appreciate
What's
it.
that?
Any more podcasts coming out?
Yeah,
Don't go there.
those have been awesome. Oh no. Not good news then? Is that what you're saying?
You have to say there's no news.
We all reviewed. We all sent our, well, at least I did.
were.
I sent lots of reviews and said how great it was, and they're like the best. They were the best episodes of. That's like what I listened to. So, awesome.
Whoa, no, wow.
He's announced there's enough. They were the not us.
Cool. It was just good. So well done. All right, health department.
Not too much.
Any news on the GPS app that I can send when there's? Weren't you gonna send something to us
Yes,
about
I
that?
was. Thank you for the reminder. I'll do that when I get back.
Okay.
Great. Yes. And we can get all of these to mark the invoice.
What was the name of that again?
Or, well, I believe it's called the report approval.
You just wanted to hear him say that again.
Yeah. Thank you. Great. Yeah, I'll send that out. Otherwise, no, still, yeah, working with the county to get the trail ambassador program moved. Shout out to Anna.
Yep.
Been a huge effort, but we're nearly there. So,
Awesome.
plus, come get your flu shot. So,
Yeah.
Mondays, Wednesdays, 3 to 4:30.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for doing that. Okay, Matt, do you want to say something about sand flats, or do you want to cover that? Why don't you just cover both of you? Why don't you cover trail runners and sand flats? Back to back. Let's just hear it.
So with Sands Flats, overall revenue for October was the same as last year, but then overall for the whole year compared to last year, we're down 1%. That's money collected through.
Yeah.
Next year, to let everybody know, it's already been approved, but we haven't implemented yet. The camping fee is going to go from $15 a night to $20 a night. keep in mind the big difference between the BLM camping in Sand Flats. We charge per automobile, they charge per campsite. So that's the. Two vehicles. Correct. Yeah. Yeah, so that's going up to $20. Everything else is staying in the same fee rates for the next year. Is there big issue, the budget of this Grant County, they take care of all our vehicles and our paychecks, basically, human resources and all that stuff. That fee is going to double the next year. So that's yeah, and so it really is going to shoot up. And I don't know.
It's proposed. The fee that it's proposed to double. And that's coming from the clerk's office, yeah, in the budget.
It's for what we pay the county to maintain our vehicles and then do HR work, administration work and stuff like that. So that fee's gonna double that, something that people, they didn't expect up in Sands Flats that, that's gonna double. So we're gonna try to deal with that with the budget for next year. And then I mentioned earlier, the Motorized Trail Committee, they're gonna go up this next week and do repairs on the Porcupine Trail. That is badly needed, especially on search and rescue. The horse troughs go down on the dirt road, Porcupine Trail. Instead of going up to the rim, turn to the left and go down. Probably within 100 yards of there's one spot where not Jeeps, it's mainly UTVs that just do the simple little walk and they're stuck. They tip over. And so I was up there 2 weeks ago, somebody just did that. So they're gonna go up there and fix some badly wounded areas that are bad spots to do that. So that's all next week. And then and Andrea wanted to let everybody know here about Fred. He's been a campground host up in Sands Flats and cheer for campground J since 2006.
2001. And when we're completed this meeting, we're gonna have a little a memory to just remember and have a little bit of moment of silence for Fred too. So.
And you want me to do trail?
Yeah, it's your about trail running.
Out of we've done 15 out of the 18 race events. We're up to 7,119 finishers out of those events. We're on track to basically, take over last year's number, which is at 8,300 something. Definitely going to do over 85.
Oh, great.
So more, at least 200 to 300 more, even more than last year. The last two races, Canyonlands Ultra, had about 400 finishers. And then this weekend was the Moab Trail Marathon. And part of that race, the half marathon, is the finals for the pros and finals for the college people. And big turnout, broke all the course records. It was extremely fast race.
Wow.
Had 1,800 finishers, over 1,800 finishers just for the Moab Trail Marathon race. So, 3 more races left on the calendar. The Dead Horse Ultra, which is this weekend out at Gemini Bridges.
Which affects the budget.
Yeah, so they're on authors and great skate.
Yeah.
All it makes interest.
Yeah, parts of the mix.
Yeah. And then after that, the last 2 races of the season are pavement races to the Turkey Trot. And then the Moab's local 10K race, which is the same day as our parade here in town, December 6th. Yeah, so that's 2 updates.
And if you've done the turkey drop in the past, it'll look a little different. We actually are paying a timing service this year.
Whoa.
Through our little board method.
I thought that was great. So.
Categories, so we hired a timing service that should go smoother, and the award should be right after the race instead of 45 minutes after the race.
Awesome. That's always one of our family favorites. So excited about that. Thank you, Matt, for the trail running and the Sand Flats report out. What do I have to report? there's lots of crazy and sad things happening. There's also a lot of really good things happening. And so I would say I would just encourage everybody in the midst of everything negative and everything exploding to be that voice to remind everyone of the good things happening as well. With trail mix, with this collective community. Yeah, that's my report. Samantha.
The Smaller Coyote, Porcupine, and I hosted a Halloween ride to benefit Grand County Search and Rescue. We had 40 riders and we raised $715 for search and rescue. So that was a hit. I think that it's the beginning of something for years to come. Otherwise, shuttles are slowing down. We are still going to Hazard. And yeah, that's what I got.
Hey, that's awesome. Way to go. Let's give this group a round of applause for what they did for search and rescue. I referred to that. That's exciting. That's fun. Super fun. Kathy.
I hiked Grand Step Trail last week. It was fabulous. The weather was fantastic. I met people from all across the United States. Dogs were all good. They all loved the water. Little kids were running through the water. It was just glorious. And I don't know who to thank exactly, but the new log steps for one part of the trail were much appreciated. And you could tell from the flooding, there was debris, of course, on rocks and on tree trunks. And I appreciate whoever did all that work, because you could tell it was roaring through there. But it was just a glorious day. So I think mainly, the BLM crew came out. I think that state crew also came out, like if they were BLM. So that cribbing, that wall of China, that took the state crew and all the BLM park rangers and even some of the like non-park staff, park ranger staff, like it was a week and a half. I mean, because all that stuff had to be carried in.
Yeah.
So you should look at the Great Wall, the Grand Staff, and hopefully it's where that was, you know, it always was falling apart. So I think it's built to last now. And then I believe the state crew, so we kind of didn't hire them. I think they just did it. I was hopefully it won't flood out.
Great job. Thank you, Kathy. David, you're up.
Yeah, the hoedown happened at the end of October. That was an awesome community bike event. The Spooky Cross was awesome. It was raining. People were stoked. Thanks to Samantha for putting together the Halloween shuttle ride with all the shuttle companies. That was awesome. Yeah, I've had lots of reports of damage on Clonzo, which it sounds like the trail crew is out addressing. Prospector, as usual, is pretty messed up also. I recently rode above Abyss on Slick Rock, and I've ridden it many times, and the trail markers are just so hard to follow. I don't know if that's something that could be brought up to Sandflats, or how we could maybe get that painted better. If it's going to be a trail that's marked, I feel like it's easy for people to get lost out there, and that could
I know to that.
easily.
All right, Matt's taking notes. He's going to bring it back to the
Thanks,
Sandflats.
Matt. Mud Springs is awesome. Little bit of confusion just on our, like, the bike shop end of that. Some tourists have been asking if it's open. Is it officially open to everyone, or is it just like
Till December.
Yeah, it is open to everyone. It's not open to one type of people and closed to another type of people. I think the concern was just about we want to avoid maybe promoting it for the sneak peek because of that December 1st closure. So we want to avoid confusion where people are hearing that there's like a grand opening and coming to town, and then are maybe more tempted to violate the upcoming closure.
Sun News posted an article about it.
You saw? Yeah, they're showing up to your shop, David. Yeah, send them to Mud Springs and tell December 1st.
Yeah, awesome.
We did ask, I think we did ask bike shops not to like promote it necessarily, but if people are asking questions about it, but I think for the reasons of trying to keep levels fairly low, I think we're asking the bike shops aren't like advertising it to people.
Yeah, and we haven't been. We've just had some people asking and kind of like, yeah, I think it's open.
Yeah, it's open. And then maybe just provide them with a cautionary word, just that they are fresh trails. So there's like some sand out there. They're not fully burned in. So just, you know, to ride with a bit of caution.
Tread lightly.
Tread lightly.
And just something else I thought about for going into next year is just like, I don't know if there's plans or if we've talked about just maybe getting some e-bike trail etiquette stuff out, and like if there's any difference with right of way on that, and just to try to get info out there before the trails are officially open and it's happening.
I saw a sign that said, you know, it had pedestrians, e-bikes, and regular bikes, right? Isn't that something I saw out there? This
Oh,
group,
the little triangle.
yeah, this group yields to this group, yields to this group. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, David, are you talking about the implementation of the new, like the Beyond Mud Springs? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. On all trails, and just like getting info, like maybe some sort of like little poster out to bike shops and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
A lot of new riders out there that don't know the etiquette for mountain biking at all.
Sure.
Or sometimes life in general.
That's making me think, just so you all know, for 2026, the Trail Ambassador Program is prioritizing OHV and hiking. However, it doesn't mean we can't have biking. It does mean we would have to fundraise for biking, and it is in my head a priority to have education at these trailheads for the new, the official March e-bike happenings. But if any of you, once again, know of a way, a resource, a collection of folks that would want to donate so that we can bring back the mountain bike Trail Ambassador Program, especially moving into spring with this big change, might help with the change in the etiquette and the happenings on the trail.
Anything else, David?
Just Thanksgiving's coming up, and I'm thankful for all of you in this awesome group. That's it.
What a guy. We're thankful for you, Glover. For sure. And if you guys didn't see, David has offered some pretty amazing locals, both shuttles and rental discounts. So if you ever want, we're curious to do a shuttle or to rent a bike, it's like next to nothing that you're offering, David, to all of us. So that's very sweet of you. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
Okay, Joe, roped activities.
I think the main update I have is just to, remind people, like I said earlier, that Faith sent out that survey again this morning, and I think probably the current priority for the roped activities is just to see where we want to focus energies and kind of bring that to you all and go from there.
Are they doing the big slackline festival event over whatever it's called? Fruitville. It's up.
Yeah, the GGP.
I just remember I would always donate turkeys to Patrick for the race, and then turkeys to the folks that were going out to do that slack line. That's what I remember. So I figure it's out there. Do you know how many participants, or do you know anything about that?
I don't know the numbers for that, no.
No, it always was a pretty big event.
It does.
If you don't know what we're talking about, it's just like a giant hammock, I guess you would say, right? Is that how you? Okay, I don't know. Web. Yeah, giant web area there. So. Yeah.
There's I think there's a rope swing involved with that also. It's a big event. It really is. I mean, I'm talking about events in Moab. This one brings in a lot.
Yes. Yeah.
You're gonna go out and recreate.
It's great. All right. A question is, Marty.
There are 4 equestrian campgrounds in this destination area, and we feel like they are underutilized. And the information out there, if you were traveling or wanting to visit this area and ride, it's really hard to find where that is posted. So I'm happy to report that Stephen was able to work on upgrading that information, and then he got in touch with the webmaster for the Utah Backcountry Horseman site. And we are listed under that as Canyonlands, and now that's updated and posted on there. But where you have to make these reservations for these campgrounds are on the BLM side.
No, Treasure.
And that is pretty well buried. So that's kind of our next step, is to find who to contact there with BLM.
Well, that's nothing to do on this.
Pardon?
Department of Whole Federal Government. But I was thinking maybe thinking about stuff, just a simple link through, if they had a clustering page or whatever.
Yes.
Like click and you could say courthouse, you get click for immigration.gov,
Yeah.
take you straight to courthouse. So it's courthouse Ken's Onion Creek and Long Mesa, right?
Mesa and Kenslet.
Yeah, so my suggestion would be that I know probably needs to get stuff back on enforcement. If you want to look at your audience, maybe go to the county's website and get them to do a click through straight to registration.
To the county website.
Well, the Discover does talk about it.
Discover.
Okay, or Discover Mall.
Discover Mall.
Yeah, and I was also thinking, Anna mentioned, is that where they publish, the information. We were saying, they're updating that in a couple months, the next
Oh.
couple months.
They're advertising, they're updating.
Advertising, yeah.
And they have done a big website renovation for Discover Moab, and so some information from the previous website may have just, gotten lost in the new version. So it would make sense, especially with your all more specific recreation, to reach out to them and maybe CC Brendan or Maddie on that, just to help push that along. Because, we have a Trail Ambassador website on Discover Moab, and we have a Poof website on Discover Moab. So it kind of just takes the request to put it in action, and the information that you have, put it into action. So
I did make some notes about both the trail running and the equestrian campgrounds, and I'm happy to pass that on. And then probably just to make sure that there's follow-up, I'll put you guys in touch directly so that you can do a little bit of squeaky wheel to make sure those updates.
Okay, yeah, well, good idea on that.
So is there an
Discover Mall.
equestrian page on Discover Moab again?
I don't know. I know that they did a lot of paring down.
Yeah.
So this might, a little feedback might restore something.
It seems like they're open to having pages.
So, and then the other idea is that there's a lot of traffic rigs up and down 191. And UDOT, you know how you see they have special signs like picnic area.
Mhm.
They also have that like for equestrian
Mm.
sites. So trying to make a contact with UDOT, particularly out at Courthouse Rock there, and that there's a signpost that says people notice that there's equestrian campground there or site. So that's kind of our focus, to increase equestrian
usage since this is such a great destination place?
Great ideas, for sure.
I've seen that there already is an equestrian page, so I think that could pretty easily put campground on there.
Okay, and there's a saloon page too. Fishing. Oh, right.
We need to make that happen. Thank you. I reached out to Steve, and I'd encourage you guys to do the same. Just reach out to Steve and let him know we're thinking about him and we miss him. And yeah, thank you, Marty, for covering for your group. Appreciate that.
I forgot one thing. Running. Sorry, because I think I was next.
No, you had your turn. You're done. No, of course, Matt. What do you have for us?
Just, for repairs, if you want to add it to, I don't know whose list, the Hunter Canyon Rim Trail. Go up it or down it from, let's say go up it from the King Creek Road. That one section, I don't know, everybody has names for it, but it's under. It's hard to map. It is advertised, you know, on all these trail apps and stuff.
Hard to find or hard to get up?
Both, yeah.
Hard to get up, I don't know.
Yeah.
Have any elevators.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
But maybe there's maybe an equestrian, I mean, a hiking small project close to town. That's better.
yes, or just my opinion, and a bunch of other people, just rebalance. It's,
That would fix it.
Murdoch, worked with, him and I discovered like, yeah, just go around, and come down this way, it's so much easier versus trying to deal with that. You have to use all four of the sections. It's like, okay, this is the right way.
How do we drive?
Well,
Set up
if
gather.
you're out, but that-
I don't even know the area.
Yeah.
We hump up, so when you go, you know,
Yes.
gather, can you, we do it right, get to suck your bike over the bridge. And it looks like a bike about,
No.
and then you get up on the rim and it's.
Okay,
We can add that.
Okay. listed. It's right there in that head of Evans right there. It's there. It's there in that book. Okay, thank you. Let's see. Skiing. Do we have a ski report?
No skiing yet, but I will start, I'm putting the word out that I'm sure we're gonna need volunteers this winter for grooming. So you, or if you know anyone who might be interested, please put them in touch with me. And our schedule will just, completely depend on stuff. So,
Okay.
Any, is there a date for the Avalanche fundraiser?
I don't know. I haven't been.
Avalanche? Well,
Yeah. There is.
oftentimes, any fundraiser happens when there's no snow, communities. It's not like it's always a regular thing.
I thought it was on the same date every year.
Yeah, the 13th.
There you go.
13th of December.
Yeah.
Oh, is that gonna be a film or is it?
No, that's the ski wax party.
Right, okay.
Yeah, at the mark.
Yeah.
December 13th.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Anything else, KP? Okay. Emily, I know I quizzed you earlier about the active transportation plan, but do you have anything for us?
Last time we've been talking about in-school education or like getting bike lights to hand out. So I started exploring like little community transportation grants. A lot of them are not accepting applications until unknown times, but I've started to find a couple that might be applicable.
Cool. And it would be like we said like maybe some kids are already biking, schools, other cool.
Yeah, I found one that's like specifically for school programs.
Cool.
So I look see what that means to them.
Okay.
Like how much.
Also the rat packs would be safe.
Okay.
That goes, it's not necessarily parks, but it's certainly recreation.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would do outdoors.
what's the?
I've received a few requests, Emily, and to everybody, for bike buses. You guys know about this? Am I calling it the right thing?
Yeah. People, kids ride together.
Yeah, bike bus.
Walking school bus.
And really, it just takes an organizer to do it. And so, yeah, instead of riding an actual bus or getting a ride into, within they typically do it within 3 or so miles of a school where you just all leave at the right time, the same time, or you pick up at the same time and you ride all together for safety as a group. So if there's anyone that would want to look into that more or spearhead something,
Have you talked to Pete Passengers?
I haven't talked to Pete about that.
He does some youth cycling.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
He's back.
He lives here now.
yeah, none about that. I mean, I've chatted with him a lot about NECA stuff and trails, but not that.
Church, is the person who asked, the people who asked about it willing to take some sort of?
One of them was like they said like on a day I could do this day, right? So but I okay.
What school, was it for middle school or?
It was for HMK, the elementary, but could be to any.
While we're on that, I have not seen a single one of those blue bicycles that we built up that charity day since it happened.
There's one in my neighborhood.
You
A
haven't seen
couple
it.
in my neighborhood.
There are a few still rolling around.
What was, 2 years ago you're saying? I thought you were talking about the ones just at Trail Mix, because I know that was. Okay, Emily, anything else?
No, that's all.
Okay, thank you. At large members, Dave.
I've been trying to remind myself there's other trails besides they have Pipe Dream and Raptor out. And been trying to ride some other trails. But I did ride Dead Man's Killer Bee yesterday, and almost all of that needs work again. We've got a lot of rain up there.
They did.
It got washed out pretty good in a few spots. It was dicey, it was fun. Other than that, people are still coming to town with this good weather we've been having, which stayed in this weekend. And everyone is curious as to what's on the table for new trails and all the good stuff that's coming up with next year and being open to more people, all that stuff. So people who are visiting still care and they want to come here and they are spending their money. So I think it's been a good year.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Dave. Tim?
We got to stay up on Mesa for pretty close to a week with a bunch of people from Idaho. Really liked it, and kind of kudos to BLM because they were taking care of facilities even though they're not working. Contractors.
No, our maintenance.
Well, the LE people are putting out toilet paper and stuff, but them, and then I went over to Fruita for a few days too, and even the pit toilets over there were in good shape, so kudos to the crews and stuff. Trails out there in good shape.
And they're not.
Yeah. And then on 7 Up, there's a spot where you're going from the Navajo Rocks Trail system, about a mile in. There's a split where if you go up, you end up on a ridge line. You're taking the wrong way. The markings are gone, and the sign was on its side, laying there. I mean, going, so we propped the sign up and stuff, but there's nothing left on the rock at all. So, nothing for probably a couple hundred yards.
We might have to paint that in the spring because I think the night temperatures are too cold right now, but we will. I see Evan putting it on the list right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome. Anything else? Okay. Mark? How'd the jump jam go?
It's good, as David Lummer said, the Hoedown happened last month. It was a good event, and thanks Dave for hosting sign up. So it's motorcycle read. We're having Moab Outback Association. Give me 7,000 to 8,000. That's full event.
Great job. It looked a lot of fun. I saw lots of highlights. A lot of young kids too that were involved with that. So
Yeah.
I want to know who is the enduro first placer? I'd like to know. I mean, awesome. Colin wasn't able to be here. Brett obviously not able to be here. Last thing, we want to chat about, or an update on you want to chat about Spring Spruce Up update?
Oh, the Moab Happenings calendar they need by tomorrow. So if we want to have it on that calendar postcard thing that goes out and set the date now, we can. Otherwise,
Should we just say that date?
Well, let me check my calendar back in the office because
Okay.
if there's a conference in April, if it falls on that day, then
Okay.
GCAT staff will be here. So
Okay. Okay. Will you just get with each other? And then last thing is Work Wednesday. We skipped Work Wednesday due to weather, etc. in December last year. So we'll probably do the same, but it sounds like we'll have lots of opportunities to help with the GCAT crew, with Falcon Climb, etc. So Evan, you just send that to us and I'll get it out to everybody. So there won't be official Work Wednesday in December.
I got one more thing.
Oh yeah.
There is a trail building class.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Clinic coming up next Monday and Tuesday, and it's hosted by the Utah Trails Forum, and which Maddie's a board member of, or the director. And USU Extension. So it's a 2-day class hosted by these guys. This is the pipe dream. I know Pete has signed up and Tim, I believe, but there's a few spots open. So it is $75. If that's a problem, we might have a scholarship. But yeah, 2 days of trail building with someone that's not GCAT. So maybe you can learn something new out here.
they only have 2 spots left.
Ooh, only 2 spots left. So the link in the info is on our social media. So just you can go find it there.
That's a cool opportunity.
Yeah, it's cool.
Is that, I mean, for the state of Utah, people coming to this?
So there's funding for 4 this year, and the idea is that there'll be 2 in the north, 2 in the south, because a lot of these things happen up north, and like for especially like our public lands partners, they can't necessarily like have funds to like send people these things. So we're trying to get them a little bit more spread out. Did the 101s this year, and then start mixing in more like 201 options and having more specialized courses. So this is kind of the first year it's like a little pilot program, and it's funded by the Division of Outdoor Recreation.
That's super cool. Okay, I'd ask everyone to stay seated here. We are going to officially end the meeting at 12:54. High five the person next to you because we got done on time. Way to go! But then please don't go anywhere. Because
Working on my car.
here's why I'm asking you to not go anywhere. So we wanted to I'm going to stop the recording